This episode is brought to you by Communications Training for Coffee Teams, a new Map It Forward workshop tailored to get your team communicating more confidently to improve general mental health as well as business profitability. Click the link in the show notes for further details. Welcome to the Daily Coffee Pro by Map It Forward, friends. I'm your host, Lee Safar, and I'm joined for this episode, our second last episode of our 5-part series, by Andrew Tolley. Andrew, today on the podcast, we are talking about the value of education to the employer. Now, I suspect that we have some very interesting things to say about this because, I get asked by baristas a lot, who's supposed to pay for my education, me or my employer?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we start from there?
Yeah, great question. And that's a fundamental question. I mean, I think if the barista is asking that question, it means that their employer is probably reluctant to invest in their education. And I mean, fundamentally, like the person who has your best wishes at heart for your career trajectory and want to go in the industry is you, right?
Yes.
So don't forget that, right? And for any business, there has to be some kind of alignment. I think a successful business of the business's interests and their employees' interests, because fundamentally you have to keep people happy. It's in the business's interest. It's also in your interest, in the employee's interest. So the longer you're keeping people happy, the longer they're going to stay with you, which is I think valuable for a business. So yeah, if you're asking that question, who should pay for this, me, myself, or the employer, then I think fundamentally you have to think, how is it in the business's interest to pay for this course? Okay, what are they going to get out of this course? Not just what am I going to get out of this course, what are they going to get out of this course? So good example, you're a barista and you want to do a roasting course. Okay, is the cafe going to become a cafe roasting business, or is it just something that you want to understand more about? Okay, because if it's the latter, then why the cafe doesn't really need to invest in you as becoming a roaster, because the likelihood is that you'll end up just leaving very quickly after taking this course and become a roaster yourself, and there's really not much of a return on that investment. If on the other hand, you were to present to that cafe a business plan and say, look, we can reduce our cost of coffee. We can increase our the brand. We can build a stronger coffee brand by becoming a coffee roastery. Let's explore this, okay? And you're actually giving something tangible to a business owner to say, we can investigate this, and then if it works out, then we can go down this route. Then it could be in the interest of that employer to get you trained up on roasting. So in that case, you would have a strong argument for the business investing. So I think anytime you want a business to invest in your education, you should present a strong business case for that. And I'm a really, really strong believer, and I've seen evidence of it in investing in your team's education. Okay? So from a just business fundamentals perspective, the benefits of training are you can reduce attrition. Okay, so attrition is the turnover of your staff. Okay, so famously, hospitality businesses have very high attrition. Certainly, we knew that some of the chains in the UK had attrition rates of over 100%. Okay, which means that every year they're employing in a 100% new team. Okay, you've got to keep on turning. When that's happening, you can't invest too much money in training those people because you're just going to be they're leaving, and then you're just going to be recruiting more people and training them again. So attrition is really expensive. I think it's like a hidden cost in many businesses, and people don't properly account for it in terms of the effective running of their businesses, the profitability of their businesses.
Can I pause you there for a second? Because one question that I get from a lot of cafe owners is, Lee, Why should I bother investing in my staff when they're just going to get poached by somebody else and that investment's going to walk out the door and it's going to go somewhere else?
Yeah.
What do you say to business owners like that? Because that poaching is something that creates, that increases the attrition rate, and it just breaks business owners' hearts to watch this talent walk out, especially they're looking at thousands of dollars with regards to education. What are your thoughts around that?
Create a great business, a great working environment, give people opportunities within your business, and you'll watch those people get poached and then you'll watch them come back.
Okay.
We used to call our baristas boomerang baristas, because because if anyone wants to leave, you encourage them to leave. You say, go and 100% go and explore, right? You want to go traveling, go traveling. You want to go and try a new job, go and try that new job. But the door's open to you, okay? So when you want to come back, we'll find a role for you back in the business. So that's the safety net for them. And we had a lot of people go and come back, and we knew that we'd already invested in their skills. We knew what they were like to work with, and it's a no-brainer to bring someone like that back into the business if you've done that investment. So the other common question is, what if I do invest in their training and they leave? And then the question is, well, what if you don't invest in their training and they stay? Okay, so this is that. In terms of benefits of training, higher productivity is a key one, right? So they will, if it's a cafe, they will make more coffee faster to a higher quality, right? So you reduce wastage, you improve the number of coffees you serve per hour,
and the quality of the coffee that you're serving.
Coffee that they're serving, which means that the customers will continue to come back. Also, we always forget about, and this is again very cafe centric, but we forget that cafes are people businesses, and that most customers, once they know the coffee's pretty consistently good or meets their requirements for what they want in their daily coffee, they're coming back for the people. Okay, so every time you lose that barista, that relationship, and particularly if it ends on a sour note, then the customer picks up on that. So this is why having a good team, investing in their development, giving them opportunities is so valuable for a business, because it pays back in countless ways, which are tangible and intangible, in terms of both revenue, increase revenue, decrease expenses, but also just the general morale and happiness of the team. The benefits of training are quite significant. And then the question is, how do you actually measure this? How do you see what the return on the investment is? And this is, it can be relatively straightforward, right? If you have very clear goals around what the training is. So, if you're a roasting business, or if you're a cafe business, you can measure outputs very quickly. So how much coffee can we roast? How many coffees can we make per hour? These things. And then that if you have a strong team on bar, then you can increase the number of coffees you make per hour. Okay. And there's a very quick return on investment calculation you can make for that. So it might seem like a lot of money to spend $400, $600, $1,200, whatever's on your barista training. But if you spend that now, and then over the course of 6 months, someone's consistently making more coffee to a higher level with less wastage, then the payback is faster. Okay. But I think and this is back to which coffee training do we choose? It is, again, scrutinize the trainer and the curriculum, right? So if those things of speed, reducing wastage are really important, coffee, like product knowledge, is really important, then make sure that training program actually delivers on those things. That's really critical, okay, when you're choosing which, from a business perspective, what are your business goals from this training program? It's not just about general education and foundational stuff. It's actually like, will this person come away from this course and actually be able to deliver on the things that are important for my business? So talk to the trainer. Don't just rely. This is a case where you want to get into the weeds a bit on that course to really understand if it's going to offer that value for for your business.
And I guess one form of education that we didn't cover but needs to be mentioned in this episode specifically, because it is typically targeted at the business owner, and that is consulting.
Mm-hmm.
Consulting is a form of personalized education that's tailored to your business or tailored to your project, and taking advantage of making sure that you choose the right consultant and making sure that, we have a lot of people in the industry that are calling themselves coffee consultants. And that term is a very ubiquitous kind of term for something that doesn't really mean anything. And it's really, really important that people know what they're paying for when they hire a consultant to come and teach them about something or fast track their learning about a specific thing that's tailored and specific to their industry, to their business.
Yeah, exactly. And so people can learn this on the course, obviously, your How to Become a Coffee Consultant course. And one of the things you mentioned in that course, which is really important, is that the consultant knows their niche, right? They have to know which area of expertise they are specialized in, and they can really help a business to improve on. And so that's very really important. And so again, if you are calling yourself a coffee consultant, you need to be quite specific in what kind of coffee consultant you are. And then you need to ensure that the business actually gets something back for that, because what you're doing then is you're tailoring your expertise to their business, which means that you're applying everything you know, which is applicable to their business, and you're helping them to actually get a net benefit from that knowledge and that experience, which will, and this is important, it will pay back more than it's costing them to pay for you. Okay, so you want to show them that their investment in you will actually generate a higher return. Otherwise, why would they pay you as a coffee consultant?
Yeah, I love it. Our last episode for the series is going to be about the value of education for the trainer and therefore the industry. Folks, just a reminder, the How to Become a Coffee Consultant workshop is now new, available on Coffee Knowledge Hub. Links are in the show notes. And just go and take a look at a lot of the content that's on Coffee Knowledge Hub. There's some free content, there's paid content, but it's all fantastic. So we're going to head into the next episode. Peace, love, and peanut butter, everybody. Have an amazing rest of your day. Thanks for tuning in, friends. There are 2 ways you can support this podcast. Firstly, become a paid member of our YouTube channel. Secondly, you can join our Patreon for as little as $3 a month. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video before you leave, and check the show notes for more information. Now, this is what you should check out next.